So it sounds like it's a really early time to go to bed, and it is, but then because you're getting up super early, it all gets sort of scaled differently. So yeah, we did a mixture of, like Yvonne said, we did a mixture of our Vajrayogini practices and then the Hatha practices. So a Vajrayogini practice looks at what they call a Leirung as a traditional 1 month, what's called a mantra retreat, where you sit there and you recite the mantra of this deity Vajrayogini. And then you do certain other practices, and you do that 3 or 4 times a day. And basically, you're sitting there doing a lot of sadhana. So, this is in relation to, what was your daily practice. So you're sitting there doing a lot of what's called the sadhana of Vajrayogini, which is a sort of a text, and you're going through that in your mind and reading it, and then you're doing a certain number of mantras. In a month, you do you should be doing 100,000 mantras, is what it is. Or even 5 or 6 weeks is actually better. That's sort of the essence of that kind of retreat. And then that's very good for, mantra retreats are very good for pulling the mind to stillness. It's very, very fast for some people, if it's your kind of practice, to sit there doing hundreds of thousands of mantras. For some people that's just insane and you would never recommend that, but for someone else it's a very fast way to get to stillness because it pulls the mind in very quickly at a certain point. At a certain point it will pull the mind very fast into one of these crucial points that we were talking about earlier. So it's a great practice to do like that. And then when we hit the Hatha practices, we really sort of switched it up, and we started doing a lot of pranayama, which is like special yogic breathing and so forth, all different kinds. Close to around an hour a day, actually, of pranayama, which, as it turned out, was another incredibly powerful and very fast way to get to stillness of the mind. Because actually what happens in pranayama is you completely bypass the mind. You don't have to sit there doing some like A, B, C, D flow or something like that, or some elaborate visualization or anything like that. You're just working purely with raw prana. And by virtue of the fact that prana and mind are the fact that they're completely connected and you can't have one without the other, if you influence your prana and your wind flow, so there goes the mind, you see. So that's also a very, very powerful, very beautiful way to get places quickly in a practice. So we did a lot of pranayama, we did a lot of asana practice. We did lots of meditations on the inner body, lots of chakra meditations and so forth. So that was sort of like kind of a snapshot like that of daily practice. What did it look like?
I had a nice baking practice also.
Yeah, Yvonne had an extraordinary baking practice. She did, yeah.
It was highly meditative.
Well, what did you experience coming back into the world? I think for me, like, truly the hardest part of retreat was coming out of retreat, frankly. At the end of the day, I could say that comfortably. It was very, very shocking for me. It was very raw to start seeing people again and talking again and interacting with people. I think I found the hardest thing was looking at people and seeing their pain in a very clear, very visceral way, and where I would just see why they were in pain, but I couldn't say anything about it because it wasn't my business, and I didn't maybe even know that person at all. They were a stranger or something like that. So that became very painful for me, seeing pain in a way that I hadn't seen it in people before, with that heightened sensitivity that Yvonne was talking about. It was so raw for me. So that coming out was very, very hard, and it continues to be for me. I think that Yvonne is far more adaptable and flexible than I am like that. So I think that she's, had her moments, but predominantly sort of back at it. So maintaining the clarity, right? Yeah. Does the stillness stay? Yeah, I think just what Yvonne said there. It's like you don't lose the core or the foundation of it, but it's sort of, I guess it's like somehow it's coarsened, like she was saying, there's a certain energy that you need to live in this world when you come out of a long-term retreat. And that's a different energy from when you're in a long-term retreat. There's a certain kind of, almost I would call it an aggressive energy. It's a very strong energy to be in the world, to get on a bus, to go places, to do things, to go shopping, to do anything requires this sort of feeling. And it feels like there's a low level of aggression behind it or something like that. I think that this world is very much like trapped in the two nadis of Ida and Pingala. I really believe that. You just, what's your flavor, are you like seriously attracted to having desire and so forth, or are you a very angry, aggressive person, or so just working with that now in the outside world is it's ongoing, just feeling that energy from people. Yeah.
Don't you want to eat and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh no, I mean, we'll answer more questions.
If anyone has questions here, please, now's a good time, or we can break and muck around and chat and whatever. Yeah.
But just one moment.
Yay.
Yay.
Oh yeah.
Yes, Leonardo.
Did you ever think you were going crazy?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you say a little more on how you dealt with them?
Yeah.
Oh wait, that's that beauty thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we'll,
Oh, sure. Right
Yeah.
time. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. So I just want to start by thanking Lama Yvonne and Lama Roger for, can you imagine, Lama Yvonne was talking about how remarkable it is to have a yoga class, but how remarkable it is to be with two people that did this and have this information given to us, right? Like to be here with that. It's just incredible to be here with you, with your sharing. We don't have to do 3-year retreat now. Just kidding. No, just kidding.
I said the mind is cunning. She's got it figured out already.
Just a small token.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
Thank you. Wow.
That one's your one.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's it. Okay. Yeah.
And then just one more thing. Sherry was saying that we wouldn't have 3 jewels if it wasn't for these amazing people. And then 3 jewels wouldn't continue on if it wasn't for some other people. So the board runs 3 jewels, and we have 2 people that are stepping off the board. And I'd like to acknowledge them. I don't know if you want to come up, Floriana, do you?
I'll try.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'll try. I've been on my back for 3 days in a while, but I managed to be able to be here. So actually, my husband said to me, I said, aren't I a great manager? She says, first you get yourself in trouble, then I had to figure out how to get you out of trouble, and it's magic. That's so true, because I managed it, but I didn't know how. He figured out a way that I could move, pushing the breakfast stool around the house on Monday night, because he had to go to work on Tuesday, so he couldn't leave me in the house in bed all day. I had to be mobile. I had no idea how I would be mobile, but I knew I would be. And he does his MacGyver tricks all the time, so he has to figure it out.
So Floriana is full of magic.
Everybody's full of magic.
Let me talk. Because I just want to say a few things about what she's done for us here. We wouldn't have survived without Floriana. She saved us financially a few years ago now, and I think that I might have my timing a little bit off. She also started the meditation program here, and a few of you started coming to 3 Jewels in Floriana's class. I think Amanda, and also Sarah,
And Pam.
and Pam.
And Paula. And Teresa. Yeah.
And it was Sarah was telling me last week that Floriana was just so enthusiastic that was what kept her coming back, right? Yeah. And then this other really fun thing that she manifested, and that was parking for us over here. We love that.
A whole month of talking to Diamond Parking, North Diamond. They had a horrible reputation on the internet because people were getting $7 tickets. I said, I wanted to give them the opportunity to clean up their car. It's parking. And he liked the idea. And then the Nova Scotia bank manager was bringing me, he said I had to talk to the regional manager of Diamond Parking. The regional manager of Diamond Parking said, no, you have to talk about Nova Scotia. It took a month to get them to agree. So they came up with all these rules that I had to write down, and I made all the people who have parking passes say, this, you got to do this, you can't change, you can't give your ticket to somebody else. And I assured the guys that we would follow it religiously, to the point that they never came to check up. I invited them to come and see us, and they didn't do that at all. So we park in that parking lot. Yeah, it's nice.
Tenacious, right? Totally tenacious. And anyways, thank you. You okay?
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you.
So these guys both served on the board for 3 years, and Joni's she found this place. She found this studio, and then for over a year, maybe a year and a half, she got the groundwork going. She took care of the financing, the programming, the marketing, like everything for the first while. And then we realized it was a little too much. And so then we developed the board. And Joni's been on the board for 3 years. She's been doing, she did the rentals for a while, finance for a while. Floriana did finance for a year. You did it for a year. Big responsibilities, lots and lots of work, lots of work. And again, we wouldn't have 3 Jewels because she found this facility, right? And she got it going in the beginning. And it's just so wonderful to be able to celebrate these two. And so we'll just... Thank you. And a little bit more, there's also committee people. And Mariska, is she still here? Yeah. So she's now doing rentals, and she's saving us. I mean, she's just bringing in so many rentals. It's fantastic. So we're starting to feel more like we can that we're going to survive, and it's going to continue on. It's just doing a great job. And Sarah is working with Mishi, and working with doing marketing. Joel started he's our web guy, does the website, and Alvaro, sorry, I practiced saying your name. Alvaro, our finance wizard, and we really need that. We're so appreciative. And Christine is on the board. Sherry is the president of the board. We wouldn't be surviving without Sherry either. Sherry's just doing everything all the time, overseeing things. Christine is the main force behind, Christine and Joni, with the Great Pledge, which has saved us again, right? All the saving going on here. And then soon there'll be room for you to come on the board if you like. And the great thing about that is that you work with people who have the same ideas, the same principles. And you're working together. You're recognizing that if you're having a problem, where's it coming from? You can't blame them. It's coming from here. So and we're all on the same page with that. So it's a very great group to work with, and I hope to see you all involved. I forgot to say Amanda and Yulia also. Is Yulia still here? Yeah. Oh, there you are. The lights are. And they keep this place clean. And we really appreciate everybody's efforts so much.
What does Shub do?
Oh, sure.
He's hiding behind a drum.
He does something, doesn't he?
He does lots of things.
lot.
So he's fixing everything in here. For example, when we had the break-in a while ago, he was Johnny on the spot. Fixing the broken window, So he's always fixing things. He's playing music and he's teaching classes. He's such a powerful teacher, and he has many students that everybody loves. John, you know that. Yeah. So now, have I left anything out or anybody? I'm on the board. But please help yourself to food.
You have to talk about you now. So I'll start. Edie has been amazing. She did a lot of the financial work with our mamas, took care of them. She's been doing planning, marketing. Wasn't her forte, but she got into doing planning. And just the glue. The wise woman with lots of glue for all of us. So one for Dee Dee. This place will last us either. So let's give her a big
Thank you all so much.
Thank
but
you.
particularly
Thank you all.
teachers. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you for keeping us here.
Please have food.
Yeah. Right.